You gotta flip the camera. It's on CC.
Oh shit.
There we go.
How did that happen? Oh my gosh. It's one of those days. It's one of those days.
It's
And it's
retrograde.
recording too now.
It's retrograde. Dur, dur, dur. I was like, fix it however you want. I'm lopsided over here.
I feel a little lopsided too. So.
I'm lopsided.
Whew. All right. Anyways, welcome to the Witching Hour with Miranda and Nina.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk about energy blockages, especially now with the coming into winter season, the dead season.
The dead season.
The dead season.
Like the dead lights. Don't look at the dead lights.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So
You'll float too.
yeah, you
Just
know,
kidding. I hate Pennywise, you guys, but
a lot of people get seasonal depression because of the stagnancy, the heaviness, the darkness that comes around, you know. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on what to look for when you know, you're being attacked spiritually or energetically. Also, you know, blockages as far as like love and career. There's certain things that you can look for too, because we do create blockages when we are stagnant. Not only blockages, but illnesses and stuff like
yes.
that. And then also, when do you need a cord cutting? When to decide when you need a cord cutting. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get started with like spiritual attacks. A lot of people don't know that they're being spiritually attacked, you know, and it does take a few signs
And radical stuff to happen before people actually acknowledge it.
Yep, and they let time pass by too. Usually it's a couple months, and you don't want to stay stagnant for that long.
You really don't.
Why do you think people get spiritually attacked, first of all?
So growing up, now we're gonna get into like the whole. Growing up, I was always taught when you become a spiritual person, it's like ringing this huge ass bell in the spiritual world, and you're saying, "Everybody, I'm here," and then people, spirits, entity, all of that. It's like, okay, let's see what we can bring at her. Also, I was raised very strict Catholic growing up, and you're always taught, you know, the devil's gonna hit you hardest before your biggest breakthrough, type of thing. I think people can just be ugly. I don't think that we realize how ugly people really can be. So I feel like that's spiritual attacks anyway. I know in our type of work, because that's one of the main reasons I don't like to do mediumship, and I've gone to you and I've asked you for tips on that, because I will go home later and I will be spiritually attacked by whatever is there. So I feel like it's something that, you know, you're going to have that breakthrough, you have that, and then you have other spirits that just don't know boundaries.
Exactly. The boundaries is a big thing. Boundaries not only in the physical, but in the spiritual realm, you guys.
Yes.
They're very important.
And they don't have a time frame there, so that's what's different with them too.
Yeah, and also like growing up Christian, as soon as people would give their life over to God or leave everything at the cross, so to say, that's when they would get hit the hardest, is when they're baby Christians. You know, they're new in their walk, their Christianity, and that's the most vulnerable time for them, because they think, oh my gosh, I made this wonderful decision for my life, and I'm gonna walk this straight and narrow. And that's when they get hit the hardest by past energies, because they haven't cleansed. You know, there's still stuff that's around them, people around them, energies, entities, and other demonic things as well, that will come in and stop them from crossing over to the light side. They want them on the dark side.
Well,
and
not just that, like you always do work for people that have those, I forgot it. It was there and now it's gone. You know, the trauma, generational trauma.
Oh, generational, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, trying to break away from those things is really hard. So yeah, those are so many things that will attack you spiritually, especially trying to break cords from generations. You know, they say we are the generational breakers, our generation, and this time era right now, the people that are coming up and being awoken, you're going to break the chains of the past and the future.
And that means you gotta go through a whole lot of shit.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
you will be attacked. So we're going to start out with like the emotional and mental. As soon as you start feeling discouraged, you know, and then hopelessness sits in, anxiety is not supposed to be here, guys. Anxiety has been so normalized that it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, and I'm sorry, but it is.
Well,
ridiculous.
damn, I feel called out on camera.
Yeah, I called her out. Anxiety is not a norm. It never used to be, and it shouldn't be now. But we have allowed ourselves to just live with it instead of taking care of it. Now it's to a point, and it's contagious. I am not gonna lie. Like, I have a sister that our family didn't know what the fuck anxiety was because, like, we weren't allowed to be anxious.
No,
you know what I mean?
especially in Hispanic families. I feel like that's a very
Yes.
big thing.
So she got married to this guy who's, I mean, he's whitewashed, you know, and he is Hispanic, but raised very American, very Americanized. And he had anxiety and all kinds of bullshit. My sister then started getting anxiety after she moved in with him. He told me energy doesn't pass and it's not contagious. It is.
I feel like
So-
it is, especially for someone that you care about.
Mhm.
You then take part of
Yep.
that on.
Yes. So anxiety it's contagious, guys, and it's not supposed to be a norm. Another thing, confusion and mental fog will set in. You start questioning yourself. You start doubting yourself, why you're here, what you're here for, and a lot of things too. And I've noticed this. This is going to be a lot of things at once, not just one. Okay.
Mhm.
So just because you're doing one thing doesn't mean shit's setting in, because I know me coming into myself, more of my Leo energy, I have, and setting boundaries, I've been coming into frustration and agitation. Like, I'm just done. And I don't want to put up with shit. You know, so I am in an argumentative stage where I'm not going to sit there and argue per se, but I will speak my ground. I will set my boundaries. And if pushed, I will get physical, you know, because that's just who I am. But frustration and agitation is also part of being attacked. And this is lingering, okay? It's not one time. It is just you're frustrated with everything. Nothing's going right. It feels like nothing's going right. And everywhere you turn, people are arguing with you. There's something wrong. So you are being attacked, or you have attachments, you know,
Yeah.
with you.
Yes, yes. I love that you put that out there.
Yeah, also your spiritual sluggishness. If you're used to meditating and doing rituals and affirmations, and all of a sudden you're just not anymore.
Stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you, no movement will bring illness on your physical body, your mental body,
It'll
your
bring
spiritual body.
illness within the home, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It is not good. So that's just the emotional, okay? And then we're going into the physical aspects of it. Extreme fatigue. And I know I've been extremely fatigued, but I have been, you know, I was sick.
You was sick. Yeah.
And I had an infection in my body, and it could have been because I was spiritually attacked. I still need a cleansing.
You do. I'll make the bath tomorrow.
Okay. So, it's not your mental that's being depleted, it's all your physical. And it is complete depletion, and you don't have control over your physical body. So it is extreme. When I say extreme, it's extreme fatigue. And also physical afflictions, like you feel like you're weighed down. You can even be getting bruises or weird scratches, weird things on you. And that, again, that's attachment and spiritual attack.
Yes.
You know, and these spiritual attacks can come from anywhere. They can come from people. They can come from
Places.
places and things. Yeah, they can come from other realms. They can come from your generational stuff. And they can also come from, like, what do I want to say?
Could be in hoes, y'all. Okay, because sexual.
Oh, yeah.
Sexual energies are
What
some
you
of the
lay up
worst. Are some of the worst.
Yeah, you're honestly taking on their karma.
Yeah.
When you lay with somebody, you take on their karma. I don't know who would want to do that. So make sure you watch who you're laying up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you are doing all things necessary to not only take care of yourself physically from STDs, but you want to take care of yourself spiritually
yes.
from STDs. Okay.
From them little leeches and
And then-
parasites. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I just know usually people have a certain spot in their body that they get attacked whenever they do get attacked or they need cleansings. Everybody has a weak point in their body. I know mine is usually my stomach because I've had colon cancer. I'm weak there. My aura is weak there. And every time I do get attacked, it is in my stomach area. Do you have a certain spot?
I've come to realize that it depends on what I've dealt with, that I will feel it. A lot of times when I'm doing trauma work or things like that, especially for women that I care about, I'll generally feel it in my hips, and it is awful. Another time, it depends. If I come into demonic energy, that type of thing, I'll feel it towards my back. It'll be really heavy. What I've come to realize more now is if people are actually throwing things at me, I feel the vibration in my legs, and my feet will cramp up and things like that. So, yeah, it's for me. I've been able to kind of categorize some of it a little bit, but it's still rough.
Wow. And see, in me, I just, I don't know what's wrong with me, honestly, because I know my stomach is my weak point, but all in all, like, I can have shit happening to me, and I've just been such a, like, in survival mode for most of my life, so I don't pay attention. Usually other people have to tell me, look, I think you need a cleansing, because I don't notice things like that, and I don't pay attention to them, and I don't let them affect me. And I could be dying, and I'm still here working, you know, doing spiritual work and stuff, and
that's why we get mad at you. We're like, dude, take a break.
Yeah, and it's
No,
because I don't
absolutely.
pay attention to that, you know, and that has a lot to do with me learning how to do self-care, because I never did. Everybody's always been ahead of me, you know, and that's just how I was raised, and that's what we're gonna come into next, is like the way you cope with things. Your behaviors, the way you cope with things is also like a way of stagnant energy, needing cord cuttings and stuff like that. So yeah, you do have to be mindful of how you act, and I'm biting my tongue right now, so it's okay. You know, sometimes you have to come to your own realization while you're speaking.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get the misconception with all of the social media cord cuttings or to end relationships romantically. No, they're for just about everything in life, and I feel like that needs to be put out there, because everybody's like, oh no, they're romantic relationships. Why would I need to do that? Because I know you've done it, and I've done it, and we've both had to talk to clients of ours, and we're like, no, you need a cord cutting. Like, and what people don't realize is you can rebuild those cords, especially if we've done a cord cutting, and then you're gonna reach back out to that toxic ex, and they're gonna be in your life. Those can regenerate. Say you've done all of this healing, say you came from toxic family, you've done all this healing, but all of a sudden you've been told that you need to put an olive branch out there. Well, guess what? With that olive branch comes that same damn cord.
And this is where I'm going to come into like behavioral and spiritual aspects of being attacked. You'll feel like you're regressing, where you've had your wins, all of a sudden you're no longer having wins anymore, and you will feel like you've backslid or taken 10 steps back from putting out the olive branch. Guys, be careful with that. You know, watch whose advice you're taking. We are not where you turn the other cheek to the motherfuckers so they can fuck you up again, okay? You've got to be the one that takes care of you.
And you know what? I want to put something out there with that. I feel like a lot of times people feel because they're your family, you have to put up with the abuse. No, abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter whether it's coming from a friend, a spouse, parents, siblings. It does not matter the connection. Abuse is abuse, and you don't have to deal with it.
No.
And you know what? You're perfectly fine and justified to feel however you feel within that.
Exactly, and I agree with that. And I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, I've cut off most of my family. due to that. And you know, I do have my mother that still tries to reach out, and she tries to hang on. I'm not really sure why, just because like I've always been the martyr for her, and whether she knows it or not, you know. And honestly, the way she is, I feel like she probably doesn't even know this, but I'm just tired. I'm tired of being the blame. I'm tired of being put last. I'm tired of um, you know, not being acknowledged
Yeah, for you to be made feel bad about things.
to feel like I'm outcasted or I'm always in the wrong. You know, and with this lady, I had to grow up at 6 years old. 6 years old. I was taking care of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, a latchkey kid, after school for 3 hours. And you know, that, okay, she was working, but when it came to the weekends, all weekend long, I was by myself. So she could go out partying and doing her drugs and whatever it was she did. I knew how to cook full meals at 6 years old. Um, you know, she would lock us out of the house when she wanted to get it in with her people. Like, you know, and I'm not trying to batter her, but these are things that as a young child, it's raining outside and you're locked the fuck out. You know, what do? You go to your friend's house. And of course, I'm very open, so I would tell them, oh, well, I can't get in my house because my mom locked the door. She's there, but she locked the door. You know, yeah, I've had CPS called on us. But when they came to interview me, I knew everything. I knew how to dial 911. I knew what to do in case there was a fire, a cut. And so they really couldn't do much back then because age didn't matter, my knowledge. I was a smart fucking kid. And so they didn't do anything about that. You know, and then growing up, everything I did was wrong, you know, and not only having to protect my brother and sister because my mom didn't make the best choices for our lives in order to keep us safe, you know. We lived in a trap house, basically. Drugs in and out, people in there smoking and getting high off their fucking ass. And, you know, here I am with my brother and sister having to keep them safe to make sure nobody fucks with them, you know. It's not okay. And so I have held on to a lot of this, and I've done a lot of healing with this. But when it comes to me asking her, why didn't you ever think about us? You know, and it's not me, it's us as kids. She refuses, like she don't remember, and she might not remember. It might be a trauma to her, I don't know. But we've never had a chance for her to open up in order to do that, you know. So I've just broken that off. I can't do this anymore, especially, you know, they bring in another daughter, adopted, not blood, and that person is always before me, you know, and I see that that person is treated way better than me, my children, and my grandkids. Yeah, I'm not going to let my grandkids be touched by what I was touched by. I'm not going to let my kids be touched by what I was touched by. So it's done. I cut that cord, it's done. And she reaches out, I'll still say hi or, you know, just be cordial. You know, I'll respond. You know, when I was sick last week, she's like, you were sick, why didn't you tell me? Why would I tell you? I said, yeah, I was sick, I was in the hospital, but I'm okay. That's it. That's all I said. And, you know, she wants to, well, why wouldn't you tell me? And I don't need her to save me now. I needed that years ago. I don't need it anymore. So, you know, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't. I do feel bad for my brother because he tries to keep us all together, and I'm just done with him and with her and my sister. So, one sister, my blood sister, my real sister, you know, I love her to death, but, you know, she just spends a lot of time with my enemy, and I don't deal like that.
Yeah.
You know, because my street sense tells me you don't fuck with people who fuck with your enemies, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just what it is. I don't have nothing against her, but it's just what it is. So you don't feel bad about that. Cut that shit off. I don't need to send out a olive branch to nobody because I don't feel guilty for anything I've done. I've tried to be the best person I could to all of them, and it wasn't enough, so fuck them. I'm gonna put that energy somewhere else, into my kids, my grandkids, and the people that I love and that I choose to call family. You know, so yeah, don't do that. Don't put out that olive branch. You don't need to.
You don't always have to. I mean, if you feel the need to, then that's one thing. But just know that a lot of times you're welcoming. What do they say? It's better to know the devil that. What do they say, Nina?
I don't know.
You know the devil. It's better to know the devil. Oh, it's better to sleep with the devil you know versus the angel you don't.
Yeah, and that's the truth. I agree with that big time.
Yeah, she had taught me that.
Okay, so while being spiritually attacked, you know, these are a lot of the things that are going to come up. When I do get spiritually attacked, usually somebody from my family is going to come up. You know, it always ends up that way. And it's not because I feel like I'm weak there. I don't know why that is, honestly. But usually I'll hear something or hear that my sister's talking shit about me again, you know, and I think it's to get an uproar out of me and go do something stupid because I do get physical, you know, and I try to refrain from that because I'm already old. I don't need to be doing that shit no more. But, you know, it's hard not to. So yeah, I notice when I get spiritually attacked, that shit always comes back up too. You know, so if you have these symptoms, cleansing, okay? Don't deny it. Don't wait. You don't need to live in this misery. You don't need to live in this stagnant energy because we know you stay in this energy long enough, it's going to bring on depression. Depression is a spirit. It will linger, and it stays long enough, it might not want to leave. So you don't want to hang on to that. So what are some things that they can do when they're spiritually attacked?
When a person is spiritually attacked, I think first and foremost, what I do is a cleansing. Growing up Native, growing up spiritual, you know, you're taught to smudge. You're always taught to smudge. Now, I want to put out there too, because we did do a little short yesterday that I've had a hard time getting to save. So we'll put that up later, you guys. But sage in itself is antimicrobial. So it cleanses out the air. They've done studies where they've gone in and the energy actually shifts with sage, with palo santo, with copal, you know, with all of these things that we burn, bay leaves, the energy, they actually did like a whole meter study, and the energy shifts from more of a low vibration to a high vibration. So stuff like that, I would say, cleanse yourself. If you know that,
your energy.
or even just little little, what do they call them?
Affirmations.
Little affirmations. I don't know why I always have a problem with that, you guys. I don't know. Anyways, those little things, the way you talk to yourself makes a big difference. Words are powerful. You'll hear us say that time and time again.
Yeah.
Other things, you know, music. I love music. You love music. We vibe with music. And the energy that comes from moving your body, it makes a huge difference. Get out of that stagnant energy. Get out of that ugly feeling. If you feel sick, what do you do to heal yourself? There's a reason why, you know, our ancestors, and you'll hear us say this a lot too during the cold and flu season, Ponte Vicks. What's Vicks, you guys? What is Vicks?
Vicks is...
It's menthol. It's menthol. It's camphor.
Yeah.
It's, you know, lavender. Lavender is healing, and it's, you know, there's so many good things and so many good properties to what our ancestors did, but it was so easy for it to be bred out of us. So the important thing is get out of that energy that you're in, and that, if that means going for a walk, if that means throwing, you know, your earphones on, if that means buying some damn sage and smudging yourself or saying positive affirmations, then do that. For me, I will say not everybody feels the same way. I know when it's a severe attack is when I'm shaking. I will physically shake and I will feel pain in my body, and my thoughts are not straight. My thoughts are not straight, you know, my heart feels heavy, things like that. So pay attention to your body. If you know your body, you know who you are, you are going to recognize these things so much easier. If something does not feel right, chances are it's not. So listen to your intuition.
Yes. And I'm going to say another thing with the Vicks, the menthol, the camphor, it also raises your vibration naturally.
Yes.
It takes away anxiety naturally because of the scent. The smell of it, the strength of that minty smell does change your vibration. So it does help. So yeah, Ponte Vicks. You know, yeah, I just feel like also sage your home after you have company, especially during cold and flu season.
Yes.
You know, when somebody's getting sick, burn sage in their room. Well, while they're trying to get better, because it's gonna kill all that bacteria.
And not just that, I mean, we're taught at a very young age, and I'm sure you know this now too, like, spirits will attack you at your weakest.
Mhm.
You know, there's been times where I've taken my kids home I've gotten them out of school because they were sick, and I take them home, or we go to the doctor and they have to have a tooth pulled, or, they have work done, and they're tripping balls because it's not just the anesthesia, you guys. You are in a different realm, and the realm that you're in may not be the safest. So you need to keep things around that's going to keep them protected, that's going to send that ugliness away. With children, we're always taught, put a glass of water by your bed. Don't drink it. Please don't drink it.
Or let your pets drink it.
Or let your pets drink it. There's the whole lime trick. I know that the lime trick now is very popular online, where you cut the limes in quarters and you stuff it, with sea salt. All of these things. Your grandmother's hanging garlic above the door, yes, for vampires, but also for spiritual protection.
And that could be spiritual vampires as well, because
yes,
what a spiritual attack is taking your energy. Mm-hmm. So it's basically a spiritual vampire.
Yeah. We have we have an energetic vampire that hangs out around the shop. He'd probably laugh at this, but I mean, that's only because he runs at a different vibration. So,
yeah, and with him, it's pretty cool, because when we do feel like we're sluggish or we got something on us, he will take it away from us, because he enjoys that negative.
Yeah.
It's just where he vibrates, and that's where he's the best is at that lower level, because that's just who he is. So yeah, if you got a walking vampire that knows how to manipulate energies, they could do wonders by helping you get cleansed.
Absolutely.
Also, like spiritual attack, psychic attack. I know psychically, anytime I get psychically attacked, which usually is done by somebody else, out of jealousy or spite or whatever the fuck,
People a lot of times don't like that you're helping someone either.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah. Or if I've removed a curse on somebody and somebody didn't like it,
Yeah.
I do go into a moment of like suicidal thoughts, and I already know. If I get those thoughts, I already know that I'm being attacked, because that's not me. I enjoy life. I faced death already more than once, and I would never do that for myself. So when my thoughts go there, I know I'm being attacked, psychically, and just the littlest thing, bells can change your vibration, and it is a change of vibration and movement. The vibration is movement. Just think of the butterfly effect. We snap over here and it just sends little vibrations.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire world.
Grandmother Willow, you guys. The ripples. Just saying.
Right.
I had to have a Disney moment. Someone got their Disney and Hulu.
And
I'm just kidding.
Especially these times where it is like this weather, it's dark at 5 o'clock, and who the fuck wants to see the dark at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, we've been hooping and hollering it up during the summer.
Right. And it automatically makes you want to sleep. During this time, just be very mindful of other things. So other things that come together as far as being spiritually attacked. And if you notice other people too in your family, cleanse them. If you know how to do it yourself, do it. If you don't, we got you.
Yes.
With that being said, we are offering cleansings.
Yes, we are.
I just feel like it's super important, especially for people that are super down. That's why the suicide rate is high, because attachments are sticking.
Well, and you know what? I really hate saying it, but in all honesty, everyone's like, oh, the holidays, it's so happy. No, I feel like the holidays,
it's the highest stress season.
Brings out the ugliness in people, on the road, in the stores. even at home as parents, you're stressed out if you couldn't provide for your family.
Uh-huh.
The fact that everybody is going through so many financial strains right now, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Financial unknowingness too.
Yes,
We
our
don't know where our
jobs.
country is going.
And not just that, like, I mean, how many people? So we just did a tarot class, you guys, and we actually asked them to do their cards and to put out their fears. I don't know if you were at that class. Were you at that one?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I know you got sick. But anyways, one of them, you know, we did tell them. I think you were, because it was the first class. We told them, okay, what is your fear right now? And everybody in that class, I mean, I didn't realize how many of our clients actually worked on base or for the IRS with the government. And they were terrified about their positions. They were terrified about their future,
Yeah.
you know. And with your own stability, you're going to worry about the stability with everybody else in your life.
Yeah, not only that, like, you get a government job, you think you're set for life.
Yeah.
And now it's not it's
It's
not
not
it.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
not only does your pay go away, but your benefits, the medical, how are you going to treat your kids if they get sick or
Yeah.
somebody needs a surgery, you know? And there's so much that goes behind that, but yeah, just this time of year is so hard. So
See, and
hard
I have
emotionally.
a lot of soldiers that I know from my husband being a soldier, and you know, like I've seen them at their lowest. I really have. And a lot of them, what a lot of people don't realize, this is sad, is they're not that well taken care of.
Mm-mm.
They're not completely set. I think that's really messed up, because we've taken these beautiful people, these beautiful human beings, and we have built them to be what we need them to be. And at the end of the day, they still have to go donate in order to get necessities like deodorant or toothpaste.
Yep.
Hell, some of them have addictions that they have to be able to provide for, whether it's cigarettes or alcohol, like
Yeah, to cope with what they've
to
seen.
cope with things. And it's unreal.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
It's-
unreal.
It's just this time of year, it just brings out so much, and it makes it harder, you know, for everybody. So yeah,
Kindness goes a long way, guys.
it does. Kindness goes a long way. If you feel drawn to reach out to somebody, do that. We had one of our friends that was reached out by somebody else, and she never knew that anybody could understand her on a level that this person understood her on. And I know that this small gesture saved her life.
Yes.
It saved her from having another episode. It saved her from going down the rabbit hole again, you know, because Christmas is coming and it's coming. And that's when she has these things, you know. But yeah.
And a lot of people feel like that during the holidays,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, so just make sure you're staying cleansed. If you can't afford to get a cleansing, like, you know, just come talk to us. We can show you how to do it yourself. I have no issues with that. We can tell you how to do it for yourself. There's ways that you can, you know, you just have to make sure that you're putting the energy behind it to cleanse yourself.
And don't feel bad if you don't have that energy to put behind it, because sometimes we get that low.
Oh yeah. I remember I was at such a low point one time. I had rips in my aura. Like, I couldn't even function. And the shop owner will tell you, I came in here fucking in shambles. I was not me. I didn't know what was up from down. Nothing. And that's not me. You know,
Oh, she's very much a Leo. She's out there, you guys. She's golden.
I'm always driven. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. And, you know, that just was not me. I had no idea what, like I said, what was up from down. And getting that cleansing was the first part. Getting the compassion that came with the cleansing was the second part. I'm gonna cry. You know? No, because we need more compassion in this world. You know, especially with like a lot of the racism and the division, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just so ugly.
It
And
is ugly. And there's a lot of things that are being allowed to slide that you know would never be allowed to slide.
yeah, you know,
And there's a lot of fear. There's so much fear, you guys. It is unreal.
and I'm gonna tell you, fear is a low vibration. Ugliness is a low vibration. Racism is a low vibration. Judgment is a low vibration. So don't think you're high and mighty when you're judging a motherfucker, because that will bring you all the way down. Kindness is up here. That vibration is higher. Love is the highest vibration. So when you're showing love to people, like, that is healing in itself, okay? It's changing that for people. But anyways, hi Yaya.
Hi, Yaya.
Yeah, so make sure you're getting your cleansing. We're not going to go much into that because we have other episodes where we've talked about how to cleanse yourself.
Yeah, and again, if you guys want a cleansing, we offer them here in the shop. You are not going to pay an outrageous price.
No.
We are not going to ask you for $800 and tell you need to bring all the supplies. Now, again, that does not mean that we're not good, because I will tell you, fuck, we're probably some of the best.
We are the best here in Utah. I'm going to say that right now because I know that for a fact. We've had people go to other places around here in the Salt Lake and the Ogden, you know, and surrounding areas that have gotten cleanses from people, paid outrageous prices, plus had to bring their own supplies, and they're still fucked up. And they come to us and we're like, oh yeah, it's $60. You know, and then a lot of people think, oh, because the price isn't high, that they're not going to get cleansed. No, we not only do we put our heart into it, we put our emotion into it, and we actually give a fuck about you, you know.
And that's one of the reasons that our prices are lower, is because it's something, this is a gift. We've been given this gift to help everybody. And so we make it a point that you can come in here and receive that gift
for a fair price. And you know, we don't take trades anymore because somebody fucked that up. But you know, I will definitely trade services. You know, I will trade services with somebody. I don't mind that whatsoever.
And we actually do that. I do that a lot with my clients. I have a girl who does my nails. I have another girl who does my hair.
Right.
You know, like, and you know, I'll do readings for them or their family, or we've gone out on house cleanses. The restaurants, a lot of times our restaurant people will be like, please let us cook for your family.
Yeah, they offered meals and stuff, you know, just because of what we've done. And hey, to me, hell yeah, you know what I mean?
It's one less time we have to make dinner.
One less dinner we have to make, yeah, most definitely. So just to know that kindness is a form of healing, and it doesn't take nothing to do that, you know. So just be mindful of that when you're seeing people going without, homeless, or even the addicts, guys. They're like that for a reason. You know, there's always a reason behind something. So just try not to be judgmental, or people with, whether they're here legally or not. You know what I mean? Does it really fucking matter? We're human. Everybody deserves to have fairness. You know, and to all the Christians out there, God didn't make borders. God made humans, and he made all colors for a reason. So let's just hold hands and sing Kumbaya motherfucking ya, okay? Because I just feel like that has been lost. That has been lost, all right? So, so that's, you know, if you've never been spiritually or psychically attacked, that's what it is. All of these things, all of these attributes, and it's going to be more than one at a time. So cord cutting, I'm going to say we're going to expand the cord cutting. It's not only love relationships, guys. This can be family, like with me. This could be habits.
Yes,
Bad habits. Self-sabotage, example. Toxic ways of coping. Past experiences. So you can get cord cuttings from all of these things. And it does help you. It releases you from those bonds. So just think of, okay, I got the key to your fucking handcuffs, bro. Let's take that shit off and let you free. You know, and that is what a cord cutting is energetically. So a lot of reasons to get a cord cutting is ending relationships, like a divorce, separation, breakups, friendships.
Yeah, some friendships can be toxic.
Yeah, you know, because I'm going to tell you one thing, that's probably the most toxic one, even more than relationship, because we don't really think about that. Because you got your girl here and you tell them all your secrets. You confide in them in everything that you are. And then all of a sudden you're not longer friends. And I'm the type of person that I don't tell other people's business. But not everybody's
But
that
not
way.
everybody's that way. For real.
No, ma'am. No, sir. There's a lot of people that will go and use it against you just to be ugly. So you do want to cut cords with that because it's going to be hurtful. And then we'll have to throw in some, like throw them in a lime or something, in an onion, whatever you got to do to fix that.
You can go bury
Fix
him
that
underneath the tree.
situation. Yeah. So, you know, when you end a relationship, I'm going to say you get two pieces of paper and you glue them together in a relationship. And this is any type of relationship, family, friendships, relationships. And then you try to separate it after it's been glued together. It's not going to rip perfect. There's going to be pieces here, pieces there, pieces here, pieces there. It's not going to rip straight, okay? We don't come away from relationships straight with a clean cut. Never. It is impossible because you've given energy and you put time and effort into this person.
Yes.
So you do need cord cuttings with those. And there are different ways to do cord cuttings, and it's all up to how you think. Also, releasing your past experiences, traumas, moving on from like your traumas, bad memories, or toxic relationships from family, okay? Because most of our traumas come from family. And you want to delete that energy cord there. Yeah, you can't change the blood in your body, but you sure can cut that energy away from you.
Yeah, you can.
You know, and as far as traumas, like allowing, example, sexual trauma to affect you when you're trying to have intercourse with your husband or your wife, and you don't feel confident in who you are because of that trauma from your childhood. You need a cord cutting, okay? You need to get rid of this, and it should not affect you in these manners.
Yeah, being with a narcissist, you guys not feeling worthy anymore and going into a new relationship, because I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now, and it's rough.
Yeah.
And you need that cord cutting. You need to have that stuff removed.
Okay, and then some negative patterns you can cut away from you, or is self-sabotage.
Yeah.
That is a huge one right now. I've seen that so much right now. People
Yes.
self-sabotaging, they're getting in their own way, they're standing on their own, what was it? Their own thumb is on them, you know? So I don't know what she said. So, you know, you're holding yourself back from moving forward and from growth. Also, your self-talk. What did we say earlier?
Words
Your
are
tongue is
powerful.
Self-talk, the way you talk to yourself. I used to be the type of person that I would make fun of myself, and I still sometimes do that. I would make fun of myself before anybody else could. I learned how to do that so I didn't get my feelings
So you
hurt.
didn't get your feelings hurt. I understand that
Yeah.
completely. And actually, I didn't know. I mean, I always did it, and I felt like, okay, this is fine because at least I'm hurting my feelings. But it's not fine.
Mm-mm.
It's not fine. And the way you talk to yourself makes a big difference in who you are.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and I used to do it because it's like, if I can laugh about it, then it won't hurt me, you know? So and I go to the extreme because I'm extreme in everything. So yeah, if I'm going to say something about myself, it's going to be very extreme. And then I'll laugh about it, but that was just covering that childhood pain, you know, from where it came from. So self-talk, you can cut cords with that. You don't need to continue to do that because it is harmful to you. And then the coping patterns,
Yeah.
you know, the way people cope with things. Avoidance, shutting down,
Oh,
running.
I'm a big one. I'm a runner, y'all.
Yeah. Those
Just
are,
with relationships. Everything else I face head on, which is kind of a problem too. But
she doesn't face him head on. She runs after him, okay? She's like a toro. Seeing red. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. That's sad.
Yeah. And you know, the way you cope with things like mental health, there's a lot of therapists that will help you deal with your coping patterns. But
Did you see her? She just straight up looked at me again. Is this like put Miranda on blast day or what?
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I'm not trying to.
No,
throw that at
I'm
you.
just playing with her.
Okay, I'm like, I really don't know why I
you.
did that.
I'm playing with you. I feel like we're getting too deep. No, I'm just kidding.
So there's a lot of mental health therapists that will help you with that. You know, you go to therapists, they help you deal with your coping skills. They give you new coping skills, healthier ones, in order to do that. But that's a pattern. You already have this bad pattern, so you need to cut that cord. You know, don't forget to cut that cord first before you try extending it and trying to something new, because it's not gonna work. It's gonna bungee you right back.
Yeah, and it sucks.
It does.
Sucks. And then you feel like a failure, but you're not a failure.
No.
Okay? And it takes time to build new pathways in your brain, you guys.
Yeah. And then also transitions in life. If you're making a huge move, cut cords with your old move. You know, if you're starting a new job, cut cords with your old job. These are things that are not so traumatic, but
They
it's
can
simple.
feel it. It's a
Yeah.
vibration.
Definitely. So a good way to help with cord cutting is reclaiming your energy. Reclaim your energy from that. After you do
I
the
call
cord
back
cutting,
my power.
I call back my power. I am in control of my power. I love my power. Also establishing your boundaries. You want to release any connections, first of all, that you have, or any thought patterns, and then establish your boundaries where you will not go or allow yourself to go. And these are self boundaries, okay? And then emotional healing, your wounds, you
Recognize them.
you recognize them, yes, and be compassionate to yourself.
Yes. Give yourself that grace. Give yourself that peace.
Oh, another thing you can cut cords from is, you know, people that have gone through shit and had shitty lives all their lives, or they feel like they're in that pity party mode. They carry a lot of bitterness. You can cut cords from bitterness, yo. Like, you don't have to be miserable. You can cut cords from regret to where you're not having to deal with regret anymore. So just know that these are all options of cord cutting that are not talked about. And we are just putting them out on the platform right now. You know, cut cord, there's different ways. You can do candle cord cutting, like the way you see with the
candles,
the
yeah, where you
candle
wrap
with
them.
string.
Yeah.
You can do energetic through a cleansing cord cuttings, through Reiki, through affirmations also. But
Through smoke when you do
Through
them.
smoke, yeah.
I do them when I pull eggs out on people, or when I do my other type of cleansings. You know, we're doing those things.
Yes, cutting the cords of all things that are attached to you. So, yeah, just remember, like, you don't have to live with these things. They aren't. The one thing that I've learned not to do anymore is, oh, well, that's just me. And I learned that the hard way. You know, I've lost people in my life because I didn't want to put the effort in to change. And I would just make the excuse, well, that's just me, accept me for who I am or not. But I wasn't allowing myself to be my best self, and that's what they wanted for me, was to push me to be my best self. And I was limiting myself, the thumb on me, you know. I was under my own thumb because I was ignorant to that. And that's something that I now realize, and I've now been able to let go of. Don't make excuses for your bullshit, yo. Like, you don't, when you're dealing with bullshit, and the way you act, the way you respond, the way you react, is not who you are. It's what you're choosing to do, okay? And if you're choosing the negative always, it's for a reason. There's something there that you need to fix.
Okay, Yaya was saying, because she's been waking up at 3:49 or 3:45. Yaya, anytime you're waking up around the witching hour, it could mean that somebody's doing something, but a lot of times it also means that you have spirits that are coming to you to warn you about something, to let you know about things. That's another thing I want to put out there. If a lot of you are having crazy dreams right now, more than likely it has to do with this whole moon and retrograde. Some of us are fighting our spouses, and we never fight with our spouses. So, you know what? Take a step back, take a breather, kind of feel yourself. Feel yourself before you go crazy and, you know.
And lunge.
And lunge. There we go. I love that word.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So another
And
thing.
yes, waking up at weird hours of the morning, waking up often at night, that can be another sign that yes, you need to have a cleansing.
Mhm.
Or you need to come in and see one of us and we can tell you what the hell's going on.
Right. Yeah, it could be a variety of things. It could be a warning. It could be an attack. It could be you transitioning and flying.
Yes.
Dream flying. Um,
So thank
It could
you
be
to
so
everybody
many
that's on. It's Susie and Yaya. There's me, of course.
hello.
So yeah, I just want you guys. I want to acknowledge you guys. Hi.
Okay. So another thing I wanted to know, talk about is blockages. Our Reiki healer will tell you people will come in all blocked up. And it's like, how are you even functioning with all those blockages? I myself have been blocked the fuck up, like
I do too.
bad.
I do too.
So there are, like, the one thing I'm gonna focus on right now is love blockages. People that want love, but they don't allow themselves to get it, okay? And a lot of it comes from, like, low self-esteem, your past traumas.
Past trauma.
You you're afraid to feel that again. You're afraid to endure that trauma again. And I'm going to tell you, hanging on to these past traumas is attracting just that. You're attracting the exact type of relationship you were comfortable in, and that's just truth. So let it hit, let it burn, let it hurt. That's truth.
And I cut
Okay.
that motherfucking cord.
Yep. And these blockages need to be removed.
They
Okay.
do. They
You
do.
need to have free-flowing energy.
That's another thing, like, that needs to be put out there. You guys, we create blocks in our own energy, can't talk. And then those blocks later turn into sicknesses within our body.
Yes.
With some work to remove these blockages, you can have a healthy body, but then later they turn into sicknesses that are non-curable,
Yeah.
that you will have to take medications for, that you will have to do things for.
Right. And see, and I feel like cancer, I'm going to bring it up again. I had stage 4 colon cancer. I was in a miserable marriage, but, when I called my toxic mother that, hey, I'm coming back from Texas because my husband was cheating on me, and he doesn't want to be with me anymore. And me and my 3 kids are coming home. She said, no, you can't come home. You don't have a home to come home to. So what do? There's my survival mode. I do what the fuck I have to stay there and survive with me and my kids, because I don't only have myself, I have my children I have to look after. And being in that relationship, I decided to forgive him. It was the first time, but not the first time. When I got hit with him cheating 9 years in, it was, I've cheated on you my entire life, every chance I got. So I don't know how many, and I probably couldn't count how many times I was cheated on by my ex-husband, but that's a lot of weight, and that messed me up as a woman. I felt this little, I felt like,
You feel worthless.
I felt worthless, and at that time, I acted like I was worthless because I allowed him back, and allowing him back led me on a full 17-year relationship where it was miserable. He hated me, I hated him. I take it out on my kids, but I created cancer in my body through being stuck. And so my digestion, your colon does most of your absorbing and digestion. I was an avoidant. I just acted like things weren't going on. I was in la la land, basically. And that's where cancer came up in my body. So it will bring in illnesses, you guys. And that is no joke. And the reason why I know that's what it was is because after we split and I got through my chemotherapy, I've never had a negative testing at all in my colonoscopies. And it's been 15 fucking years. So you tell me that environment didn't affect me? It did. It did.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. And nobody can tell me different. I know that for a fact. So there's also a lot of inter-emotional blocks that we hold ourselves back from.
Yeah.
That fear of moving forward, that fear of what if it doesn't work out right, or what if I fail, you know, you're not going to fail. I tell people all the time, you're going to go directly into your destiny or the long way. The long way usually comes with some lessons that we don't like. Yeah, they're hurtful. Yeah, they suck. But it's never going to derail you from what your purpose is. So, you know, try not to block yourself from allowing
Good
love
things
to come in.
Yeah.
Fear and anxiety. And that's fear of intimacy, fear of being touched, fear of not being good enough, you know, for other people, or embarrassed of your body, embarrassed of your flaws, you know, and you don't want to bring that intimacy in because you're embarrassed of these things. Those fears are creating your own blockages, you know, and you don't have to have that because there's somebody for everybody. Somebody's going to love you for just who you are, even if you're breasting, even if you don't wash your ass all the time. Like, it doesn't matter. There's somebody out there for you, you know. But also blockages, emotional numbness from traumas, you know.
Yeah.
Some people, and I've been there, I've had that emotional numbness, and I still deal with it sometimes, where I act like shit doesn't bother me. And honestly, I've been able to shut down so fast that I really don't give a fuck about nothing. And that's been a lot of reasons why I've been left, you know, in relationships, is because of that ugly
Me too.
in me, where I can just shut down and I don't give a fuck, and they know I'm being real. And yeah, not till afterwards, and I'm crying like a little bitch, but you know, it's, you don't realize that at the time. You're just so used to coping in that way that it doesn't matter. Nothing
Yeah.
matters, not even you. So,
And sometimes I think a lot of people don't realize what they're getting themselves into. Instead of being supportive, they think you're being disrespectful, and they're going to be disrespectful back, and they're going to hurt you any way they can.
yeah. Yep. You know, when you do have love blockages, you have difficulty trusting. Or negative thought patterns, thinking everybody's going to hurt you, you know, or everything's going to do what your last relationship did. I had a hard time coming out of that one because I've dealt with that too, you know, because everybody I'd been with had cheated on me. Hard time coming out of that one, you know, and I still carry a little bit of that, like, and I don't want to say it's fear, but it is a caution that I have, of being cheated on, because nobody likes that. It makes you feel like you're less of a
person,
woman.
or you feel ugly. Like, why am I not appealing? Like,
Why am I not good enough?
yeah.
And you know, that does come from my childhood. Why was I not good enough for my mom to love me? You know, why was I not good enough for her to acknowledge as a child, as her firstborn daughter? You know, so it does come from different patterns. So a lot of behavioral blocks you'll see, mostly in people that are career oriented, is unrealistic expectations out of a partner. Unrealistic expectations out of a career. You know, oh no, I'm only going to do this and this and this. You know, I'm going to bring up my ex-husband with this. He was always making excuses to not get a job. I worked for us. I provided. But he had these unrealistic expectations out of a career when he only went to 9th grade. You know, he didn't even graduate, and he would go into jobs and it would be cool. He'd be all about it, learn the whole handbook, all the procedures, and then a week later, well, I don't like them. They're being discriminatory, and this just isn't for me. You know, me, I'm not going to let nobody put me down. And this is unrealistic, but it was also part of him, and I know this is a fear of him actually doing something with his life, you know, which is sad, but that's just what it was. So these unrealistic expectations you have, even out of relationships, you know, oh, they have to be Mr. Perfect, they have to have this, this, and this, have to make 6 figures, they have to be this and this, and you know what I mean? Just take it for what it is, especially if you want to find love. You've got to open your avenues, because you are closing yourself off. Conditional love. Oh, I can only love you if,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and usually I've never done that to nobody, but it's always been done to me.
I can speak that someone has actually done that quite a bit to me. Like my last relationship was a nightmare. So yeah, and you don't always see those things, and then you get that whole shame factor, and you don't want to talk about it, and it's like, oh shit, like it's out there now, and we have to talk about it.
Hey, you guys, people pleasing, it is a block.
It is a very big block, and a lot of people will do this if they have childhood trauma.
They want acceptance, so they'll people please, and what they do, in all actuality, it's not kindness, yo. Like, it is not kindness. Yeah, there's kindness, and then there's degrading yourself for other people to feel comfortable. You make yourself uncomfortable. You cross your boundaries that you're not willing to cross, and then it lowers your self-esteem.
And then you lash out at the other people that
Yes.
you shouldn't be lashing out on.
Okay, and then pattern repetition in career, in love, in relationships. You know, people always say, why do I always attract the same type of person?
Things that need to be healed.
Things that need to be healed. These are blockages. These are things that need to be cut from and cleansed. Most of the time, it's because you're still carrying that energy from cheaters or from addicts or whatever it is, whatever narcissist, whatever it is that you're attracting. Pattern repetition, and then a lot of reason why our subconscious does that is because our subconscious thinks, oh, well, if I get into this relationship, I could fix this person. The fixer. You can't fix anybody.
No.
You cannot fix anybody.
And if it's genuine love, you're not trying to fix them. You're just trying to love them through it, in all honesty.
Yeah. So other things, avoiding situations that you don't even know what's going to happen. You're not allowing yourself to live. Trying to control timing. Oh, well, I'm not going to look for nobody until this time, and by this time I want to be married. That is not going to happen. It is divine timing. It's going to happen when it needs to.
Just like babies come when they come, y'all.
You know,
So quit telling that woman to hold it in. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding.
Another block is thinking that you can only heal while you're by yourself, while you're not in a relationship. That is false. You can heal while you're with somebody in a relationship. You can heal in friendships. You can heal in anything. It's just getting
Being
up
there.
and do it.
Yeah.
Also, confusing soulmate connections with forever.
That's a very big one. I think that we
It
get a lot
is.
in the shop.
But I thought they were my soulmate. That doesn't mean shit isn't gonna happen. We have more than one soulmate in our lifetime. It is all part of your soul cluster. And we have different clusters where we've had repetitive lives with these people in other lifetimes, in other timelines.
Yeah.
You know, and
I learned that one the hard way, y'all.
so just because somebody's your soulmate doesn't mean they're gonna stick around forever. Just because somebody's your soulmate doesn't mean they're gonna be your lover. They are your soulmate because your souls are connected in some way, shape, or form. You remember that connection with this person. So they can be friends, they can be parents, siblings, family members, anybody. Yeah, so just know that these connections doesn't mean forever. And it's okay if it's not forever. Some things are not meant to last, they're just here to teach you. And that's it.
So cleanse it, cord cut it, and move forward. Don't be afraid to
Exactly.
take that step.
Don't let it become a block, because then you're like, no, but that's my soulmate, I can't move on with anybody else. I've seen that a lot too.
Oh, we get that a lot.
Yeah. Where they
We
think,
do.
oh, well, he's my soulmate, why I can't move on with this person. You know, you are stopping yourself from having a great experience, you know, so please don't do that. Also, some people let their own self-image dictate who they are and if they're good enough for somebody else. I can't say, Miranda, I can't be your friend because I'm not good, and you know, you won't like me because I'm not good enough and I'm this way. You know, who am I to say what she's gonna think? You cannot do that to yourself.
I'm a Virgo, I'm judging. No, just kidding.
You know,
I'm joking,
or
guys. I'm joking.
in relationships too, like, oh, well, I'm not his type, I'm not even gonna try.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just ridiculousness, and it is I do blame social media for that shit. You know, they have like a standard or whatever that people think they have to meet up to, and you actually don't. You don't. There are some people that are going to be attracted to you
For you.
for your flaws. So don't put those blocks up on yourself. Blockages need to be cleansed and cut. And I think blockages are worse than just regular things that need to be cord cutted, you know, because not only are these patterns,
They're deep, y'all.
they're deep seated patterns. They're there for some type of reason, you know. So yeah, with blockages as well, it's gonna take multiple times. You know, these are patterns that have been processed for who knows how many years. And so not only do you need a cord cutting and a cleansing, affirmations and consistency. This is the only thing that's going to help remove these things from you. Okay. But yeah, I just, you know, don't allow yourself to live with these things. You don't need to. It doesn't need to weigh you down. It doesn't need to hold you back.
And it doesn't need to attack you spiritually anymore.
No.
You don't need to carry it. So come in, get a cleanse, get a cord cutting, do what you need to do, go to family, go to friends, release that. It's all about releasing and healing yourself. So
Yes. And this is where I want to say, like, finding some kind of a ritual to contain it or to keep it up, like the full moon ritual. Release on a full moon. However you need to release, you know, use a bay leaf and release whatever's going on with you at that moment. Release these energies. Don't let them build up. Don't let them build up. It's too much sometimes. And that will, you know, stay consistent on cleansings. I feel like people should get cleansed every so often. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I always tell my clients to come back at least twice a year. At the very bare minimum, come back at least once a year. And in energies, you guys have to understand, we live in a very energetic world. And I mean, there's studies on this for people that are scientific and things like that.
Welcome to Spirituality Meets Scientific.
For real, I'm a weirdo. But, you know, there is studies on this, you know, and you can be walking through Walmart again, and someone just had an argument. You're going to walk through that ugliness. People can be sick, and you're walking through that sickness. You know, you're carrying stuff, and you make yourself sick.
That reminds me of like the movies where they have like a outbreak.
Oh,
and
here
they
we
show
go.
the
I
little,
knew she was
they
going to do
show
that.
the little spits going everywhere and going into everybody's noses and shit. Like that's the image I got.
Of course
But
she
it's the
did.
truth.
Of course she did.
It's the truth though. That's how energy
I
works.
was thinking
too.
about the monkey, but, you know.
Yeah.
She went into the gross part.
Yeah, well,
I was
mean,
thinking of the monkey.
If somebody's coughing and all their shit comes out and then it goes to 20 other people, you know, and they inhale it and then they're contagious, they've picked it up, and that's just the way energy works,
For real.
you know. So yeah, keep yourself protected. There are protections that you can do over your energy.
PPE, y'all. Personal protective. It used to be equipment. Yes, personal protective.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so on that note, you know, you guys, if you start to feel down, lift your vibration, ring a bell, turn on music, dance, move around, burn sage, get that shit going. Menthol, Ponte Vicks, all of the above, okay? Whatever brings happiness or changes your mood, do it.
Know that it's a healthy thing to do,
It is.
not because some of us, some of us.
Yeah, and this
are
doesn't
the
even
other shit.
necessarily have to be witchy for those that are scared of that. This is just a normal practice for you to raise your vibration, okay? To get out of the funk. Yeah, show kindness to people. Show kindness to others. You know, it doesn't cost anything to smile. It doesn't cost anything to say a kind gesture. You know, I know somebody that will compliment every single person that they see just to spread kindness, and that's good. You don't know how many people need that. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that. Blockages.
Is someone knocking?
Yes, for what? I don't know.
We gotta remove some blockages, guys.
Fuck.
It might be that guy for his glasses. Thought he was gonna come back tomorrow though. Also, we do have a tree up.
Yes, we do have a tree up, you guys. That's so cute. It's in a witchy shop. So the tree is to help someone in need for the holiday.
Yeah. So we've got ages of people and also what they would like, ages of kids. So if you're trying to find somewhere to contribute here. This is from the Pagan Association. So our witchy people are definitely getting together and trying to spread some love here. Yeah, come pick up one of the people off the tree and help them out if you're able to. If you guys are in need, let us know.
Reach out.
Let us know. We will figure out ways to get what you need. Okay.
Yes. Also, we are doing a food thing as well. Donations for people that have been affected by everything that's gone on. We have a little cart here for food donations.
Yes.
We're accepting non-perishables.
Non-perishables. Okay, guys. With that being said, anybody can go in their cabinets right now and pull out the shit they don't use. Somebody's gonna use it. Okay. And I don't care if it's like 10 cans of black beans. Like somebody will eat that shit, especially because we got a lot of Puerto Ricanos and Cubans and Mexicanos that like black beans, okay? So, I mean, whatever it is, if you're not using it, donate it. Find time to bring it. We will find somebody to give it to. If you know somebody who is in need, let us know. This is our first year doing this. We just really want to be more involved in our community. We're here to help people, and that's exactly what we're going to do in all ways that we can.
Yes.
If you guys want to be a part of that,
Reach
let
out.
us know.
Let us know. Speak to Cece at the shop. And no, we are not taking cash or money donations. I want to put that out there. Just for the simple fact that people will try to scam other people. If you have not talked to Cece in the shop or have not been into the shop, know that it's probably a scam. And the sad thing about it is people are going to jump on this and try and scam it. So,
Yeah.
get a real job, y'all. And
Right.
the world's hurting enough. Maybe use your crazy mad skills to do something beneficial, not for yourself.
Exactly. So yeah, find some time to go through your stuff. And I have people that are always giving me clothes because I always know somebody that needs them. I always know families in need. You know, you're growing out of your clothes. Don't take them to fucking the DI or whatever. Like, they turn around and charge people for that shit. Let's give them to somebody where we can just give it away to them, where they're going to use it and they can benefit from it and they don't have to pay for it. Okay. It's just taking up room anyways. So yeah, you know, anything like that. The only thing I don't really think we want is like used toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that these kids probably deserve something new, you know, the ones in need and stuff like that. But that's my opinion. I would prefer to give them something brand new, unless it's still in the box and you still got it there. Yeah, we'll take it.
If it's Star Wars, I want it.
She said I want it if it's Star Wars. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, but just so you know, our tarot class is over, Tarot 101. We will be working on an advanced class that's going to start at the beginning of the year, sometime after the beginning of the year. We will get you guys more information on that the closer it gets to that. Our Tarot 101 class was awesome though.
It was. We had a great bunch of people.
We did. Everything was awesome. It turned out good. Almost everybody completed the class. The one or two that didn't, I mean, they already knew that they weren't going to be able to come to the last class, so we did a raffle,
Yes.
you know, and they have more insight.
It was good. It was all around good. People felt like they got, you know, good information. We're really excited because we haven't been able to offer that here for a minute.
Yes.
And of course, your in-house readers were the ones who happened
Yeah.
to direct the class. So with that being said, yes, we are going to be doing more of those classes. They will take place, like Nina said, at the beginning of the year. And well,
Yeah.
We'll
So
probably
our-
have more witch classes that are coming up as
Right.
well.
Our advanced classes are going to be more into working with the cards and layouts and, you know, how to decide which way to go with a read. Okay, our expert class is going to be more if for people that are wanting to use this as a business. We're going to give you the business side of it. Okay, how to cleanse yourself, how to, you know, because we do have to cleanse ourselves from readings.
We do.
You know, the energy,
Oh,
how to cleanse
we
your
do.
cards, how to promote yourself, different things like that. Okay, because we've been there, we've done that, and we're still doing it. So yeah, that's what you guys can expect from us coming up. And you know, we are going to be uploading our next episode on Tuesday. If you guys, we're not going to do a live, we will do an upload on Tuesday. And so that's what we'll be doing because Friday we won't be here.
Yes,
We
the
do-
shop is closed on Friday, you guys, but we will be open on Saturday.
Yes. So Saturday is for all the locals, the local shops, local businesses. Please invest in your local businesses. Keep us going because we are your community. Okay. Also, gift certificates for any service for myself and Miranda. Purchased on Saturday will be 20% off. Okay. We aren't having Black Friday, but we are having the discount for Saturday. 20% off of all gift certificates for any service. All right, so just want to let you know that.
Yes, and we do actually sell gift certificates in the shop. So if you want to buy one of those for a loved one because you think that they would enjoy a reading, please come into the shop, speak to Cece. It's going to be great.
Yep, it will be. Yeah, so we look forward to seeing you guys. Just know that up and coming, we are going to do some spell jars. Show you how to do spell jars for your family, for gifts.
Yes.
If you are tight on money, we're going to show you how to do some of those and what types of, a couple of different types so that we can give away as gifts, you know. Homemade things are always, I love homemade things. I love handmade things. But I know there's some people that are very materialistic and they don't like stuff like that. But you know who, when, what, and where, you know. And if you have materialistic people on your side, I wouldn't even buy them a gift anyways. Fuck that.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, so yeah, that's just a little bit of the up and coming for us. We will be uploading our little mini video that we had.
Yes,
Here
that we
soon.
did yesterday, and then I have another couple of clips that I want to go in and upload. So sorry guys, it's been crazy. We've been sick. I've been in the process of moving. It's been nuts, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, we always are. In the midst of chaos, we always find
It'll be fun.
time and truth and everything else. Hey
Yes.
guys, don't forget food donations. Bring them. And if you have somebody that's in need, let us know, please.
Okie dokie.
All right. We will see you guys
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Oh, my leg's supposed
No, Sonia, our classes are not virtual. I apologize.
We can think about that though.
We are going to put it in the think box and we will get back to you.
Okay, we'll see ya.